evening, ladies and gentlemen, elected members and distinguished guests. Hello and welcome to Inspiring Aberdeenshire 2020. It's an enormous pleasure to be here tonight. I would, of course, love it if we were all together in the same place, but it's not to be. So welcome if you're on Facebook or watching on YouTube. It's delightful to be here anyway, whatever the circumstances. And this is our first virtual Inspiring Aberdeenshire. I suppose it's part of the new normal, isn't it, that we're living, and we're living in truly challenging times. But tonight is about celebrating your achievements, and this year has proved beyond doubt just how important our local communities are, and I guess the role that you play in them. My name's Fiona Stoker. I'm a journalist and presenter at BBC Scotland. I present Friday's Drive Time on BBC Radio Scotland and also the News and Reviews programme 7 Days, which is on the BBC Scotland channel, as well as various other reporting duties, which I must say has been mainly COVID, as you can imagine, over the last, 7 months now. I'm often asked what my most memorable or fascinating interviews are, and I am very privileged to get to hear some incredible stories. I get to ask people a lot of questions, and certainly I've had the privilege of interviewing all sorts of people in my job, prime ministers, pop stars, Olympic athletes, reality TV stars, okay, maybe not so much them, but the most fascinating people and stories are the stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things, the kind of stories that you are going to be hearing about tonight. Now, each year we get together to recognise the unsung heroes and heroines of Aberdeenshire, their work, their dedication and their commitment. And I've had the privilege and pleasure of hosting the event before with the Provost, and to be here in this format is no less of a thrill. And I was saying to the organisers, and I say this to them every year, I'm lucky enough to do quite a lot of events like this, but this one gives me the warmest and the fuzziest feeling. I think it's an amazing night, so I hope you get that warm, fuzzy feeling. I've never been a fan of dressing down in this new virtual world, and to be honest, to be fair, you probably don't get away with it on telly so much. Radio different. I'm usually wearing my gym gear when I go in and do drive time. Some of my colleagues who are working from home have admitted to wearing their jammies, just the bottom half when they're doing radio anyway. But the Provost and I have decided we're going to scrub ourselves up tonight. I hope you have too. And maybe a wee glass of fizz to accompany you through the night, because you deserve it. With me in person, of course, is the Provost of Aberdeenshire, Bill Howitson. We'll be socially distanced together throughout to meet our performers, our finalists and our presenters. And we've got lots of lovely sparkles behind us. So maybe now is a good time, talking about sparkles, to hand over to the Provost and to officially start Inspiring Aberdeenshire 2020. Bill.
Thank you, Fiona. Thank you for welcome to Stonehaven as well. So I must admit, this is an unexpected way to be launching Inspiring Aberdeenshire 2020. But despite this, it remains a huge pleasure to welcome finalists, their families, councillors, council colleagues and other invited guests online tonight. Running Inspiring Aberdeenshire virtually this year, for reasons which are probably obvious, has been a big challenge for the team. We can't get together in person, but it's no less important to recognise the effort of the good people of Aberdeenshire and their incredible hard work. Streaming the event live means more people can join us. Everyone tuning in is very welcome. I don't imagine that this year will be different to any other Inspiring Aberdeenshire, a night with a range of emotions. Our inspiring finalists have done splendid work in their communities, and tonight we will be hearing things that will make us laugh, cry and smile. It's important to note that nominations this year took place before the outbreak of the COVID pandemic. That's not to say that the pandemic itself isn't recognised tonight. We have some very talented people gathered today, a real testament to you, the heart and soul of Aberdeenshire. I'd also specifically like to pass on my thanks to all our sponsors who are with us virtually tonight. Their support for this event is as important as ever, and we are truly grateful. You will see the range of sponsors as we go along throughout the evening. Tonight, there will be parts that people will recognise if they have been to Inspiring before. There will be great performers from across Aberdeenshire, stories told of amazing finalists who have done great things, and a lot of recognition for your overwhelming efforts. So let's start with a performance and cross to Afford and Stuart Veitch.
Cards, all the things you've done for me. When I got on my back, I run back before class, all for me. When I've had a bad day, you've always shown me the way to see that it's underestimate how much I miss you. So what do I say when I want you every day? I can come through the screen and say that I'm not okay. Why can't we go and follow you? Who's going to help you through? Why can't we go and follow you to the unknown? Why can't we go and follow you? Who's going to help you through? Why can't we go and follow you to the unknown? When you turn around today, and you say that you're not afraid, how will I be okay without you? When you turn around today, and you say that you're not afraid, how will I be okay without you? Guide me Oh, I know you will go far. Come on, Emily, reach for the stars.
Amazing stuff, Stuart Veitch there. I hope he's not offended if I call him a young Ed Sheeran, but a name to look out for in the future. Thank you so much, Stuart. Stuart, I'll tell you a little bit about this. Stuart wrote his song about his big sister Emily leaving to start university in Edinburgh. She's always been a big influence and support in his life, and he misses her a lot. And I'm sure for her it's a very different university experience. Beautiful stuff there. Lord Provost, Provost, we were. You mentioned earlier on about the fact that these awards were nominated before the pandemic. Mm-hmm. But I think one of the things that struck me is the local communities during the pandemic have been so vital and so at the centre of what's been happening, haven't they?
It's almost been like a renaissance of goodwill. Yeah. And I mean, the people have been extremely kind. I think they've been very thoughtful. They have been very tolerant, of the different legislation and movements coming out. But I think it's been inspiring. It's almost like back to the wartime, when there was a very common purpose and people were focused on what they were doing, but giving a lot of thought to other people. And, I think it's been very uplifting in that sense. I mean, it's been a terrible challenge for us. It's still a terrible challenge for us. But it has brought out the very best of many people, I would have said. Yeah.
It's interesting, as a journalist, obviously, we're covering what seems to be very, difficult and depressing news a lot of the time. But you also get stories of incredible kindness, and within communities, people even setting up, transport to go and bring medicine and food to people who are vulnerable. I mean, that's happening a lot, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I think a lot of people have surprised themselves, and have got a lot out of it. And I think it's just the strength of community that has really come to the fore. And, let's. I mean, we're always saying the things are going to change, but let's keep that going, because I think it's been very worthy and very important.
Indeed. Well, we're going to see some amazing examples, some very inspiring examples and stories throughout the night. But let's go on to the awards themselves. In advance of tonight, we have had a roving cameraman out and about across Aberdeenshire. His name is Ray. He's very shy, so he won't appear in front of camera. He's behind the camera. He's more comfortable there. All, of course, at social distancing. Modelling this year's 2020 must-have, literally, the mask. He's been meeting all the finalists by way of introducing them to you and helping you see why they are so inspirational. So let's crack on. First up, award number 1 is Aberdeenshire's Future Award, and we can hand over to Councillor Gillian Owen. She's chair of the Council's Education and Children's Services Committee, who will introduce the award.
Thank you. Aberdeenshire's Future Award is presented to a young individual who has shown great leadership and helped to inspire and motivate others in support of a local cause. First of all, let's look at all the finalists in this category.
Isabel Carno is in primary 6, but even at the age of 10 has done more to champion and support charities than most others do in a lifetime. It was the death of her grandfather which prompted her to act, and she raised nearly £3,000 for cancer research. It grew from there, and now she fundraises for the local baby bank, among others, and even supported a fund to help get equipment for her school in Maud. Her aims and hopes are that no one should suffer because of financial hardship, and she feels strongly about ensuring everyone has access to medicine or support, no matter what their circumstances.
Welcome back to the day.
Ollie and Harry Ferguson are self-proclaimed adventurers, explorers and record breakers. Their aim is to get more people out of doors, exploring nature and encouraging active lifestyles. The pair spearheaded a campaign called 50 Marvellous Adventures, which is designed to inspire other young people to explore, supported by books and Guinness World Records. But they haven't lost their connection with their roots. They write a regular column in the Turriff Advertiser to help give advice on spending time in the wild.
I'm Pickle! And I'm Pipsqueak!
Pickle and Pipsqueak, as they are known, are going over and above to help us all enjoy the beauty of Aberdeenshire. Thomas Truby started picking litter in Torfins, where he lives, and the more he collected, the more passionate he became about the environment in his area. He started the Rubbish Club, and it now reaches more than 2,600 people on Facebook. When he isn't in school, he spends his time setting up community initiatives and giving talks in schools, mobilising other young people to take action. Not only has he worked with the Aberdeenshire Council team at recycling events, but he's also been approached by other local authorities to help with their campaigns. A real champion and an example of the power that young people have to help us deliver real change.
Such a wonderful group of such worthy finalists. Well done to you all. It gives me great pleasure to announce that the winner is Thomas Truby.
Congratulations to Thomas there. I think it would give you a warm and fuzzy feeling. Amazing stuff. Provost, it's interesting watching that, because the last 7 months, the pandemic has been challenging for all sorts of reasons, for all sorts of people. But for young people, they have never experienced anything like this before. And then you see examples like that where they are, they're not only meeting the challenge, but they are inspiring other people. It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's it. And the word inspiring, and absolutely. And the way that they're tackling that and helping communities, I think it's really, really encouraging. And I think to see that expressed is really heartwarming. Absolutely. And I'm not sure how much I did it when I was a kid, but these kids would be surpassing me by decades. I mean, it's just excellent what they're doing.
Warm and fuzzy? We're warm and fuzzy already. Yeah.
Oh yes, without doubt.
Definitely.
Oh, yes,
We're there.
yes,
It's
yes,
good to know.
Yes.
Congratulations, Tommy. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you so much. Next up is the Inspirational Volunteer Award. It's sponsored by Aberdeenshire Voluntary Action. For this, I'm going to cross to Councillor Norman Smith. He's leader of the Aligned Independent Group, to tell us a bit more.
Thank you. The Inspirational Volunteer Award is designed to recognise an individual or group who have gone the extra mile by volunteering for a local initiative that makes a difference to the lives of others or communities. Let's have a look at the finalists.
Put simply, the Relay for Life Committee have, since 2001, raised a staggering sum for cancer research. Their outstanding commitment to running and promoting the 24-hour relay event in Peterhead has generated £2 million for the cause. Each person on the committee volunteers their own time to get together, recognising their collective power to help play a part. Whilst everyone involved has their own life experience of the disease, they work tirelessly to recruit new members, promote the event and raise as much money as they can, whilst honouring the memories of those taken too soon. The Relay for Life Committee are true warriors in the battle against cancer. For many of us, spending time on a sandy beach is peaceful and restorative, but we take it for granted. Then along comes Fiona Winstanley with her ambition and drive to make Balmeedy Beach accessible for everyone. In 2018, she became the coordinator of the Balmeedy Beach Wheelchair Project, providing specially designed chairs to allow families onto the beach when these spaces might otherwise be off limits. She started with 1 chair and now has 5, as well as special support equipment. Fiona manages volunteers and supports families using their resources. It is her compassion, understanding, enthusiasm and sense of purpose which makes her a great volunteer. Sarah Robinson's range of volunteering is wide and varied. She has chaired the Benahee Community Council, been the leader of the Inch Beaver Scout Pack, raises money for charity through efforts like her 1-year No New Clothes campaign, and is involved with her school PTA and helps organise pensioners' Christmas dinners each year. Everything she does is in her own time, with the ambition of making her community better and giving back. She is determined to have a positive impact on people's lives, and she is making that aim a reality.
My huge thanks to all our finalists. I am pleased to announce that the winner is the Relay for Life Peterhead team.
congratulations to the Relay for Life Peterhead team. Some amazing stuff. I can't help smiling watching all that. Plus the fact I get to wear a frock for the first time since February. Hopefully all the finalists at home are giving themselves a big pat on the back. Some incredible stories there. Watching obviously on Facebook and on the YouTube channel. If you want to send any comments, please do. We've got loads coming in already. Very complimentary about young Stuart's performance. So if you want to say anything or comment at all, then please do so. And you can keep an eye on the screen. Now, our third award tonight is the Heart of Aberdeenshire Caring Award, and it's sponsored by TPS Fruit and Veg. This award is going to be handed out by Councillor Anne Sterling, who is chair of the Communities Committee.
Thank you very much, both. As Fiona has said, this is the Heart of Aberdeenshire Caring Award, which is awarded to a person who has had a significant and positive impact on the life of others through their caring work. So let's now have a look at the finalists.
Paula Massey and her partner are foster carers, a truly noble and selfless calling. Add into that, however, that Paula does all of this despite having recently had a double lung transplant. Throughout her illness and recovery, she continues to provide a loving and caring environment for her foster son. She is absolutely committed to giving him the best possible chance, juggling multiple hospital visits and appointments with her role helping him settle in school and supporting his emotional well-being. Not long ago, Paula was urgently admitted to hospital, getting a transplant just in time to save her life. After nearly 2 months in intensive care, her first concern on waking was the welfare of her son. She has devoted herself to a caring role and is a role model to show that caring is possible in any circumstances. Imagine being told you might not be able to have children, then having 2 and both of those children falling seriously ill. This happened to Claire Bruce. Her first daughter was diagnosed with leukemia aged 6 months old. Then years later, when the first had recovered, her second daughter was also diagnosed with a form of the disease. Not only does Claire fundraise for children's cancer charities, she spends every day in hospital at her 6-year-old daughter's bedside, supporting her through rounds of chemotherapy. In the nomination form, it says she has been through hell and back twice and still does everything with a smile. Claire is more of an inspiration to others than she will ever know. The Portlethen Home Care Team is made up of 10 carers who cover the Portlethen, Newton Hill and Muckles areas. Each member of the team goes over and above every day to keep the standard of care exceptional in their area for service users with a range of conditions from motor neuron disease to Parkinson's and others. The last few years has seen a sharp increase in the number of cases where end-of-life care is required, and this team provide a valuable support to users and their families in the most challenging circumstances. The nomination describes their dedication and commitment, which is truly inspiring.
An incredible group of finalists, and our most sincere thanks to you all. And the winner is Portlethen Home Care Team.
Congratulations to Portlethen Home Care Team, and some incredible, extraordinary stories there. Provost, one of the things that struck me about some of the films we've been watching is a lot of people have been doing a lot of things outdoors, and that's interesting, and that's kind of a theme that's come up over the difficult 7 months we've had, is that the outdoors have provided people with almost a bit of therapy. In Aberdeenshire, we are so fortunate, though, aren't we? It's on our doorstep.
Well, absolutely. You know, and I was born a country lad in Dumfriesshire and brought up there, and an early respect for the countryside and the environment. And just to see the recognition that it's getting now from younger people, the interest that they're able to take is really, really encouraging. Because I don't think when I was younger, I maybe saw the importance of it as I once did now. But I mean, you know, for this age to really get a sense of it is really encouraging. And you know, I'm a great keen gardener. I'm quite keen to encourage people to get into gardening. And I mean, we're seeing that down in my patch, that more and more people, younger people, are actually taking an interest in gardening. And of course, education has done a lot in raising the profile of the environment. So, yeah, I think they're extremely positive.
Very hopeful, isn't it?
It is.
Very, very hopeful.
It is, yeah,
Which
absolutely.
Is great.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we'll go on to our fourth award. It's the Cultural Award, sponsored by Robertson. Councillor Ron McHale, Deputy Provost, is in West Hill tonight to help introduce this award.
Thank you very much. And what a great event this is, and thank you to everyone involved. The Cultural Award. This award is presented to an individual or to a local community group that has made a major contribution to promoting local culture in Aberdeenshire. Now, let's have a look at all the finalists.
Over the last 36 years, Chris Reid has been the driving force behind the Fraserburgh Heritage Society as a dedicated and proactive leader. From small beginnings, organising local history exhibitions, the group has grown to over 100, promoting the history of the North East town through the Heritage Centre and beyond. Chris has driven that change. She has the responsibility for recruiting volunteers, staffing the Heritage Centre, social media, record keeping and curation. The centre is valuable to visitors young and old and was described as a blueprint for other community-led actions throughout the country by Visit Scotland. None of that possible without Chris and her hard work. Rona Mitchell set up the Mitchell School of Drama in Inverurie in 1983, moving to Glasgow before returning to Aberdeenshire in 1998. Many of her pupils have gone on to study drama, working in television and on stage as professional actors. She has worked with many people over the years, training them and encouraging their development, ranging from school pupils to adults to people with additional support needs. Rona has been the backbone of this school for over 37 years, promoting and encouraging Aberdeenshire talent and local culture. Her aim is to show that drama and theatre are there for everyone. Iona Fife from Huntly is a well-known singer, becoming better known across the globe for her part in keeping North East culture and music alive. She has a passion for promoting Doric songs and stories and performs ballads and folk songs from across Aberdeenshire. She has sold out Edinburgh Fringe shows and has performed in Australia, Canada, Switzerland and Germany, among others. Closer to home, she continues to teach workshops and performs in Aberdeenshire as a positive role model for traditional music. In a review of her latest album, it was said that the future of traditional music from the northeast of Scotland is in very safe hands.
What a great bunch of finalists. Thanks to you all. And it's a pleasure to let you know that we have joint winners in this category. And our joint winners are Iona Fife and Chris Reid.
Congratulations to Iona and Chris, fantastic stuff. Just so you know, the organisers will be in touch with all the finalists to arrange to get your awards to you. It's almost like I have one already here, isn't that amazing? Look. Eye for inspiring. I love that. So that will be winging its way to you. We will organise that. Now, time for more music. You might recognise our next performer from her appearance on The Voice. I'm pleased to hand over to Aisha Russell.
So hush, little baby, baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing, and you'll spread your wings, and you'll take to the sky. But till that morning, there's so nothing can harm you. With Daddy and Mommy standing by, don't you cry.
Aisha Russell there, what a stunning voice, and I've got to say, very nicely shot. He's made me say that. Aisha has moved school and is a pupil at West Hill Academy. Stunning stuff. Look out for her in the future. Now, back to the awards. The next is the beautiful Aberdeenshire Environmental Award. It is sponsored by InStock and presented by Councillor Peter Argyle, Chair of the Infrastructure Services Committee. I'll hand him over to you now.
Well, thank you very much, and it's a great pleasure to be here this evening to present this award. The beautiful Aberdeenshire Environmental Award is presented to an individual or group working hard to nurture and enhance our area's natural beauty through environmental initiatives. So now let's have a look at the finalists.
In partnership with the Aberdeenshire Council Waste Reduction Team, Eden Home Care Home in Stonehaven agreed to take part in a Green Champion Award scheme. To take part, they had to run and maintain eco-initiatives. Since signing up, the local team have established their own local recycling point, run switch-off energy campaigns, set up a clothing bank, turn their garden into a number of veg patches, establish greenhouses and involve the residents in gardening and maintenance. They've got the community involved and active, and it is that shared role which sets their initiatives apart. And yes, they went on to win the Green Champion scheme. Marion Montgomery set up the Pause on Plastic group just over a year ago. The aim is simple: to encourage dog walkers to pick up just 1 or 2 pieces of plastic every time they're out on a walk, take them home and recycle them. Her belief is that small steps like this regularly can make a difference. Despite being new, the group has more than 10,000 Facebook followers alone, and users post pictures of their efforts from across the globe, as well as pictures of their dogs. In her mind, it isn't about large litter picks, just small sustainable change that leads to big results. David Coulshaw is a former Bankery Academy teacher and is now the inspiration behind the Bankery Paths Association. He is out in all weathers, come rain or shine, to secure funding or gather volunteers to maintain and run the Path network, which has improved dramatically since he became involved. He is as happy getting his hands dirty helping with the projects as he is cycling round Scotland to raise thousands for the group. His efforts have opened the network up to people of all ages and abilities who owe him a debt of gratitude.
I think you'll all agree it's fantastic to see 3 such really strong entries for this category. And I would offer sincere thanks to all of our finalists for the work they've been doing right across Aberdeenshire. However, we have to have a winner, And it's a great pleasure for me to announce that the winner this evening is Marion Montgomery.
Fantastic stuff. Congratulations, Marion. And I mean, absolutely, the award is called Beautiful Aberdeenshire. It certainly is. It was lovely, Provost, to see showcase more of Aberdeenshire. I was very taken by the project with the dogs in the litter. You've got a dog, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Yeah, and he makes his contribution to litter sometimes. But yeah,
it's a great idea, though, isn't it?
Well, I think so. I mean, it's. I mean, we underestimate pets sometimes, you know, and I think they play a really important part of our lives. And you know, we have, like all owners, ups and downs with them, but I wouldn't depart with them for anything.
Absolutely.
And you know, with kids too, helping them to become aware of animals and how to talk to animals and how to, you know, feel comfortable with them and make sure they're not frightened as well. So
it gets you out walking in any weather, though, isn't
it?
Absolutely. The dog has no idea that
No.
you don't want to go out in the rain.
Well, we live in a farm, and I mean, that's one of the luxuries of being able to go out in any weather into the fields and the dog with us. And it's it's a great comfort to have a great dog. Yeah,
I've got a miniature sausage dog who's very much our own sausage dog. So yes, we're out a lot, and it was lovely to see all that countryside showcased.
Absolutely.
Now, the next award. It is the Local Hero Courage Award, sponsored by CRB Cunningham's. Now, to hand it out and to give us a bit of a chance to look back on what a year this has been, I am pleased to hand over to Aberdeenshire Council Chief Executive Jim Savage. If you are on Twitter at all, Jim has a Twitter account and he is out and about all the time, running and cycling and walking over Scotland's hills. So he's taken a break from running across the hills of the northeast of Scotland to give us this.
Thanks for that. I'm pleased to be able to hand out another award in a moment, but first, this is a great opportunity to reflect. The past year since we last met for Inspiring has been, to put it mildly, life-changing. None of us would have been able to even imagine what we have seen, and on a daily basis, I'm astonished by the way our community has come together over the past few months. So we've pulled together this short film which illustrates what we've been doing both before and during COVID-19, where we are and where we are going together.
We've come a long way since our last Inspiring Aberdeenshire ceremony back in 2019. The past year has been unique in its challenges, but it's shown us just how resilient our communities can be. We've adapted to a new world, one with face masks, social distancing and online gatherings. Although tough at times, this year has brought us closer as a community. We've faced these circumstances together, while still hosting important events and milestones in history along the way. Even before COVID arrived on our doorstep and changed our lives, it was already shaping up to be quite a year in terms of milestones. Bankery Sports Village successfully opened its doors and is now a local hub for people of all ages. Work continued on the Inverurie Community Campus, which has just opened its doors to students and the community. We saw the opening of the Faithly Centre in Salton Square, Fraserburgh, which was shortlisted for a Royal Incorporation of Architects in Scotland award for its modern and innovative design. Ballater Station won the prestigious Southeastern Commercial Restoration Award for its tasteful restoration. Tulloch Kirk, near Ballater, was repaired and a display shelter with historic artefacts was built on site. Some of our new buildings and restoration projects caught the eye of the royal family. We've made great progress this year in our expansion and improvement of schools across Aberdeenshire, with major extensions on Burvey Primary and Old Rain Primary. We opened a new children's play area at Adden Country Park to help kids get the most out of this space. Our younger generation continues to be a priority for us, and we've made great strides this year to deliver improved tools for education. We launched the Fraser Dean Project, an extension of our award-winning Peter Dean project, which offers a unique approach to learning for students now in Fraserburgh. Our Apprentice of the Year was announced. Meanwhile, our Health and Social Care Partnership launched a new learning disability strategy in February to make sure Aberdeenshire is happier and healthier for people with learning disabilities. As we're all working hard together to start new initiatives and keep our core services running, COVID-19 threw us a curveball that no one could have anticipated. It pushed us to think on our feet and work together in new and creative ways. It certainly was a team effort. The outpouring of support from people across Aberdeenshire was truly inspiring. Our key workers did an exceptional job caring for others and helping with the delivery of essential council services. Teachers, educators and parents rose to the challenge, working to ensure their pupils were given a safe and consistent learning environment. Our social work team and the team who ensure the safety of vulnerable young people and adults were tested to the extreme and rose to those challenges. Likewise, children and young people themselves demonstrated an incredible amount of patience and commitment during the disruption to their studies and socialising. When it was time to welcome pupils back to school in August, we made sure they were given a safe learning environment where they could once again meet their friends and teachers. Roads, waste, landscape services staff were retrained in different departments to make sure bins were emptied on time and recycling centre bookings ran smoothly. We delivered food and pharmacy parcels to residents who were ill or shielding. Our sheltered housing team filmed virtual tours of the facilities for future tenants. We started the Aberdeenshire Community Food Fund, where we offered funds to local community groups, charities and partnerships seeking to help North East communities achieve food security. The launch of the Grampian Assistance Hub was a positive milestone in our response to COVID-19. The hub provided people across the region with information on how to access social, practical and emotional support during COVID-19. But we could not have done it without you. More than 4,900 individuals or groups signed up to help in their communities, offering to deliver food, medicine, walk pets, or even just provide someone to talk to. The way you stepped up is astonishing. We've introduced plenty of safety measures to help keep people safe, whether this is in our gyms, schools or town centres. Of course, some of these present issues in our communities, but please know they're all done with public health in mind. There were also points in the past year when our resilience was put to the test, and the team stepped up in the most tremendous way. No one in the council will ever forget the day where rain fell and flooded parts of our communities. Schools were going back for the first time in months. We were dealing with pockets of increased COVID-19 cases, and then a train tragically derailed near Stonehaven, leaving 3 people dead. Our thoughts remain with their families and with the people whose heroic efforts in the rescue and recovery operation will not be forgotten. Adjusting to what life might look like in the future hasn't been easy for anybody. Throughout it, there have been moments of collective pride. Exam Results Day wrapped up a year of hard work and dedication across our schools. The most recent set of results shows positive improvements across the board, with an increase in National 5, Higher and Advanced Higher pass rates. These results are a testament to the enthusiasm and determination of pupils, teachers and parents during difficult times. This year has given us a new perspective and has strengthened our sense of community. We're here today to celebrate all that's been accomplished and honour the hard work of our communities. Today we celebrate the lives of those who were lost. We celebrate the tireless contribution of our key workers. We celebrate our dedicated workforce. And last but not least, we celebrate you. Working together will be the new normal. Without the essential role of communities, we could not have navigated this unusual year. And we hope that whatever a world with COVID looks like in future, we will be making our way through it shoulder to shoulder. Although our ceremony is online this year, our gratitude is no less sincere. We would not be where we are today without you. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for everything you've done this year to help make Aberdeenshire a place we're all proud to call home.
We'll post that video on our YouTube channel shortly so you can watch it again. What a year. Back now to the awards. Next up is the Local Hero Courage Award, which is awarded to an individual who in the face of adversity has shown courage, bravery and dedication in helping overcome a difficult situation. So let's now have a look at all the finalists.
Another nomination for this carer battling her own conditions selflessly. For 10 years, Paula Massey, who was also recognised in the caring category, has suffered from pulmonary hypertension, a condition which has left her often unable to undertake simple tasks without being exhausted and short of breath. Her transplant was life-changing, but her heroism is in the battle between her own health and her caring role. She does everything for her son and is undoubtedly his hero. Paul Cheen and his family were at Balmiddy Beach in August last year when they were alerted to a young boy in trouble in the water. The boy and his older brother had gone out on bodyboards, but the tide took the 9-year-old out further than was safe, and he began getting into difficulty. Without a second thought and wearing just the shorts and t-shirt he was standing in, Paul swam out and rescued the boy, taking him to safety in deeper, calm water before bringing him to shore to his relieved family. Speaking in the nomination form, the young boy's family said that Paul will forever hold a special place in their hearts, and they know they can never fully repay his bravery. Ailey and Isla Noble are two sisters who shot to fame when they rescued a man and his son from the water off Fraserburgh last year. The teens heard cries for help when they were on the beach and swam out to find the pair in trouble in deep water, rescuing them with a lilo and a lot of courage. They called the Coast Guard for help and got the man and his son to safety, but not before the father lost consciousness. He came around briefly on the beach just in enough time to thank the girls for their bravery before being taken to ARI. Both the man and his son made a full recovery, but owe their lives to these Aberdeenshire heroes.
Our most sincere thanks to all of the finalists in this category. Congratulations to you all. It's a pleasure to announce that the winner is Paul Cheen.
Congratulations, Paul. But to all of you, some incredible stories of bravery and fascinating watching the review of the year. A lot of things that we'd forgotten about, perhaps, that was a useful reminder. And I suppose as well, just highlights how important the work done by you and the local communities are in meeting some of the challenges that the last year has thrown up. Anyway, the next award is the Community Spirit Awards. This is introduced by Council Leader, Councillor Jim Gifford.
Thank you so much for that. The Community Spirit Award is awarded to an outstanding individual or group who have supported a cause or project which helps to foster a spirited, embracing and vibrant local community, so vital to all of us. And has there ever been a better year than this to celebrate our great community spirit? Remember that all of these nominations came in before the pandemic arrived in Aberdeenshire, so the COVID-19 community response is something else of which we should all be very proud indeed. We have had some great entries in this category, so let's have a look at all of the finalists.
Peter Voerdepoort moved to the village of Caterline 15 years ago and has become established in the community, but it's his work with the Caterline Braes Action Group which has earned him this nomination. Peter stepped in to help when the Braes were badly damaged in a storm. He made links with a group of academics in Glasgow, researching ways of tackling coastal erosion environmentally, has researched the problem and doggedly sourced necessary materials. He has replaced paths, mobilised the community, stabilised the land in front of threatened homes in the village, and done it all in the most environmentally friendly way possible. The residents of the community feel sure none of this would have been possible without him. Conor McCarthy is an S6 pupil and vice-captain at Kemney Academy. His cerebral palsy means he uses a wheelchair and an electronic talker to communicate. Conor has dedicated himself to working with Riding for the Disabled and wanted to give something back for all the support they have given him. As a result, he has appeared in the school newsletter and given presentations to raise awareness of equality. He has also been fundraising for the RDA group. Conor is a well-known and loved pupil and member of the Kemney Academy family, using his experience and words to help young people better understand those of all abilities. The Rosehearty Harbour Inshore Fishermen's Association was set up in 2018 after it was agreed that the best way to make the desired improvements to the Rosehearty Harbour was for the community to take the lead. Working in partnership with the council and others, they have raised more than £30,000 and secured £70,000 in funding for projects and developments of the harbour area. They aim to protect and promote the livelihoods of inshore fishermen and develop the harbour for everyone. Because of their success, this group has been cited regularly as an example of good practice, and community groups from other parts of Scotland and beyond have visited to see how they are delivering real change as a mobilised community.
Thank you to every one of our finalists. They were absolutely excellent, superb, every single one, and every one reflecting the community spirit of Aberdeenshire. Every one could be a worthy winner, but there can only be one winner, and I'm delighted to announce that that is Peter Voor de Poorte.
Congratulations, Peter. Well done. And well done to all of you. And what a snazzy bow tie, Jim, there. Thank you so much. Now, before our final and biggest award, it is time for another little musical interlude. Those who've been at inspiring awards nights before might be missing the rousing pipe band which piped us into the hall last year. So we wanted to bring you a little flavour of that. I hope you enjoy this as we cross now to our piper, Hamish Addison. Thank you so much to Hamish, and it was lovely to see the sunshine out there in Aberdeenshire. I tease my Central Belt colleagues and friends at BBC Scotland that we are known as the North East Riviera, and I think that proves it very much. Anyway, our last and final award needs little introduction or explanation. It is the Inspiring Aberdeenshire's Lifetime Achievement Award. It's sponsored by BP, and I'll hand over to Bill to explain a little more about it. Bill.
Thank you very much, Fiona. Well, thank you. As in previous years, we'll now move on to the main award of the night, the Inspiring Aberdeenshire Lifetime Achievement Award. This award will be presented in recognition of having made an outstanding contribution to a local cause, a project, initiative or community, true inspiration to others across Aberdeenshire. But let's have a look first at the finalists in this category.
Brian McCann comes from a care experience background, and the feelings he had when he was growing up have never left him. As a result, he put that experience to the best possible use and has been volunteering with the Children's Panel for more than 20 years. Over the years, he has done everything to ensure young people get the best possible chance and has put children first in everything he does. In his various roles, he has steered the panel group through a number of challenges, from legislative change to training to recruitment, and gives up his own time freely to support young people. He is an exceptional volunteer with an exceptional heart, but would always shy away from the praise he deserves. He is described as the heart of the Aberdeenshire panel, something the nomination said would make him cringe. A huge thank you to Brian. You have helped change lives. Gordon Laird is described as the rock of stability that Fraserburgh United Football Club has anchored itself to for nearly 30 years. Over the past 3 decades, he has been chairman, navigating change, success and adversity, and always doing it to make the club something for the whole Fraserburgh community. He isn't just chairman, he is also treasurer, fundraiser, secretary and even groundskeeper. Despite being in his 70s, he will pick up any job that needs done and see it through. A true inspiration to past and present club members, as well as a role model in the town. And long may that continue. If you are ever faced with a challenge, think to yourself, what would Sandy do? That is the question which motivates the person who nominated this true Aberdeenshire inspiration. Sandy Mack has been a youth worker for more than 25 years as a valued and trusted community worker. It's his role at the coalface of youth work which inspires and enthuses him, and that enthusiasm is infectious. He has led local, regional and national groups fighting the cause for young people and the services that they can access. He was instrumental in a project to promote valuing young people and organising the annual Aberdeenshire's Youth Event. Despite being one of a number of dedicated youth workers, Sandy is nominated here because he has never lost sight of what matters to young people. The youth of Aberdeenshire have a real champion in Sandy Mack.
Simply wonderful, absolutely. So thank you, each and every person. It's a huge pleasure to announce now that the winner of the 2020 Lifetime Achievement Award is Brian McCann. Congratulations, Brian. Before I hand back to Fiona, I wanted to just take a few seconds to thank a few people for their part in making tonight happen. It's a privilege to be part of Inspiring Aberdeenshire, to hear the wonderful stories of all our nominees, people who work tirelessly in their communities to make Aberdeenshire the very best it can be. It's also special to see the absolute passion and commitment of our talented performers. You have brought a smile to our faces and helped make tonight even more special. So once again, a huge thank you to your finalists and performance. Thank you to the members of the judging panel who met earlier in the year to examine all the nominations and make the very difficult decision about who should win each category. A huge thank you to Cameron Events and RS Films, who have reacted swiftly and helped us put on this virtual event so smoothly. To our corporate sponsors, our headline sponsor BP, Aberdeenshire Voluntary Action, TPS Fruit and Veg, Robertson and InStock. The organisation of tonight's event is a major undertaking, and there's a big team behind the scenes making sure that everything runs very smoothly. So thanks to Kate Bond's events, communications and design team, who've pulled off another showstopper and made something really new. To the Council's media unit, who supported this event with the creation of the Review of the Year. Last but absolutely not least, I'd like to thank you, Fiona, our first-class MC, for keeping us all in order and making sure that the evening's event ran like clockwork. I will pass over to Fiona for now, and again, please all accept my most sincere thanks.
Thank you so much, Bill, for those kind words. It has been an enormous pleasure and a privilege to be back with the Aberdeenshire Inspiring 2020 Awards. We are in a new normal, but this is how we do it now. I hope you have enjoyed this. Thank you for all your hard work, particularly. What you do is absolutely vital. Please know that it's appreciated. Please know that it makes a difference, and please know that it does change lives. Let's hope we can get together for next year's events. Who knows? But whatever 2021 brings, your community spirit will prevail. Of that, there is no doubt. There's been some extraordinary stories tonight, some incredible tales of bravery and resilience. And as Bill said earlier on, the acts of kindness that have appeared over the pandemic perhaps is the legacy that we have here. So stay safe. Look out for each other. If you've got any box set recommendations for the quiet winter months, do let me know. You can do that on social media. But I hope you had a good evening. Stay safe. And from Provost Bill Howitz and myself, Fiona Stalker, thank you so much and good night.
Thank you, Fiona.